But yeah, we can get into it. Welcome back to another edition of Bro2Bro. Here with Big Bro Vince.
Yo, what's up?
What it do? Chilling, man. We hope y'all enjoying this little series we got going. Definitely trying to do our best to add some value to the internet world, to the marketplace. So definitely hope you guys are enjoying. Today we're gonna get into the Turo conversation. We're gonna get into car sharing, Accel car rental, and the ins and outs about that. Um, Big Bro said he had some questions about the process and the market. So we're just gonna kind of open it up and hopefully deliver some more value to you guys. So off jump, you know what I'm saying, Vince? What you got on your mind about Excel, Turo, anything like what's
Yeah.
to it?
Nah, I mean, my biggest question is because I talk to people about it every once in a while. Like, how did you kind of get started? Like, what was your first car? Like, talk about that. How did you get more? How did you grow within it? Like, I don't know. I got a lot of questions, but I guess we can start there.
Man, getting started, of course, I did the time with the big rental giant, right? So obviously I was getting that entrepreneur bug and I didn't know how I was going to enter. The Turo thing really started to blow up right around the same time I was like interested in entrepreneurship. So because I was already coming from the industry, it just made sense. I already had, some knowledge and some experience with managing vehicles. And at this time, I was in sales, so I'm thinking about overhead already. I'm knowing that I can get this discount on cars. I know I can get $1,000 off. So that was actually my entry. I went through my previous company. I leveraged the discount, got some cars at some really good prices. January 2021. Started with what we started. We had a Maxima, Altima, and two Sentras. So we actually started with four cars. Two that we had just purchased right before I left my job, and then two that we already previously had that were just like personal cars that I own. So that's how it was so easy to get started. It's not everyone's not in that situation. You might not have two cars in your household already. You dang sure might not have an opportunity to get a discount on purchasing a car. But for me, given those two factors, really four factors, along with having the experience in rental car, Turo just made a ton of sense to me. So that's how I got started.
Decent, decent. I like that. And then another question that I had for you too. Like, I know you got a few cars now. Like, how did you go from? You started with four, right?
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did you go from four and like
Oh,
increase quickly? You know what I mean?
yeah. And that it really was leveraging business credit. Like a lot of people, it's normal to focus on your personal credit score, of course, but when you're going into the entrepreneur realm, you gotta get educated on business credit. At the end of the day, we're talking about 10x leverage versus, you know, $1,000 personal credit card in the business. That's a $10,000 credit card. Any credit card smaller than 10K in the business is like, what I'm saying, I ain't gonna say it's pennies, but it's like, $10,000 in a business isn't a ton of money. So it was really leveraging the business credit on the back end of that. Like we started with the four, all personal credit. Instantly realized that my credit score was still high, even with the four cars on there. So I went to a Nissan dealer. I already had an LLC that I made 2 years prior, which helped out a ton. Having the age LLC, and I'll speak on that a little bit. The LLC is such a broad thing that you can really start one at any time, just so it's ready for you when you actually have a business or a viable business idea. And that was my idea in 2019 when I opened my LLC. I had no idea what type of business I was going to be. And that's why I named it just super general. It's kind of a play on my name. I threw the word progressive in there. And I really just wanted to be versatile. So I had my LLC long before I even thought about going into business. And then at the time I did go into business, I had my phone line in that LLC. I had a gas card in that LLC. So I ain't gonna say it was easy to get a car through the business, but it was easier than getting one through my personal credit. I'll say that much. Especially proving that I could pay two notes already in my personal. Uh, it's kind of a trick, but the bank didn't know that I already had bought the other two cars because they didn't report to my credit yet. You know what I'm saying? It had only been like 3 weeks So I was able to leverage business credit to get additional 2 vehicles on top of the 4 that I already had. So yeah, it was a crazy turnaround. And then I had this saying, those same cars that I bought on personal credit in January 2021, because the market was so crazy, everybody know how the real estate market been, the auto market been. Come August 2021, those same cars that I again bought on discount through my previous job, 8 months later, they were worth more than what I paid for them. So not only did I get the chance to rent them from January all the way to August, we look up at the market and they're worth more than what I originally paid for them. So it was like so obvious to sell them. So I ended up flipping those same cars that I bought in my personal credit, all of them, and then ended up re-entering the market and buying everything in the business. So we went from 4 cars in personal to 8 cars in the business, honestly, within like a 1 month span. Like, just like that. Wouldn't recommend it though. Wouldn't recommend it to everybody though. I ain't saying I ain't like there's some dudes out here that do Turo that like encourage this type of behavior. I will tell you firsthand, I learned so much from that process. I would have done things differently. I would have probably bought like different type of cars, but it was all a learning experience. When I coach Turo, when I teach Turo, I'm not the guy that's telling people to go out, take on a bunch of debt, and try to cash flow. That's not me. I'm more so, why do you want to get in Turo? What assets or leverage do you already have that would make you a strong player in Turo? And what is your goal, within the Turo community? Are you trying to get to 10 cars? Are you trying to get to 50 cars? Do you only want to keep the 1 car type deal? So I'm never the person to encourage people to go take on debt unless you completely understand it. And that was my position on it. I just knew there is power in debt. I knew the power of debt, but I also knew the risk of debt. And that's something that a lot of people ain't gonna tell you. They'll tell you how to go get the debt, how to access the cars, but they're not gonna tell you the risk involved, with that process.
Right. So let me ask you this. Now you quit your job to do Turo and to basically run your own rental car company. At what point did you feel like, or how many cars did it take for you to feel like, all right, cool, like we decent now, or have you not reached that point yet?
Feel good.
What does that look like? Yeah.
Woo. I mean, to keep it a buck, like, first of all, I never tell people that I'm like in Turo, and I never really tell people that I'm starting a car rental company. At the end of the day, I am an independent car renter. So I have cars that I rent to people, but Turo could go out of business tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? So there's other platforms that you can put the car on to generate income and stuff like that. You can always rent privately away from these platforms and get maximum, revenue on that. But you are putting yourself at risk through insurance and legal and contractual and stuff like that. I don't think I'm at the point where I'm like, hey, I'm set, I'm settled. There was a point where I started seeing revenue equivalent to what I was getting paid at my job, and that was like a cool moment. There was another moment when I found out that I owed the IRS $0 in taxes. Probably shouldn't say that too loud, but with the help of my accountant, I realized that I had a blank tax bill on the back end of things. So that was a cool moment because at the end of the day, before I left my job, I had an offer on the table to take a 6-figure salary. I was in sales, but they were promoting me to management. I was gonna be sitting in the cubicle doing my thing, making $100K, but I just felt so obligated to be of service to my community and spend more time with my family that I just simply walked away from it. And on top of that, if I would have made that 6-figure salary, I knew the government was gonna be taking 30 to 40,000. So it was like, I would rather earn 70, 80K on my own and keep my time than earn 110, 120, 130, give some money back to the gov, and give all my time to some company.
Right.
So that was my thing. And then in the long run, I don't even see myself as just an independent car renter. Like, I truly see myself in the transportation industry.
Mm-hmm.
No different than you're in the insurance industry. It would be as if it would be as if somebody came to you like, hey, you sell auto insurance or you provide auto insurance, and then that's all you do, you know. But no, it's you can get auto insurance. We're educated on life insurance, home insurance, health insurance. So I truly see myself in the transportation industry, and all the businesses that I'm create that God's allowing me to create, I should say, will likely be in that transportation industry, at least in the short to mid term.
For sure, for sure. Another question that I have for you too is kind of talk about what it looks like from a consumer standpoint. Like, why going with individual, rental car companies over the larger rental car companies that we see with the commercials and advertising and all that stuff? What are the benefits?
Yeah, so when you go independent, and I'll speak on Turo, that's the platform I use, but when you go independent, the biggest benefit is knowing what car you're gonna get, like straight up. With the big guys, you rent a car, full size class, for example, or a large SUV, for example. It's kind of just like you rolling the dice. You don't know what you're gonna get. Especially coming from that realm, we know some days you might book a full size car, and the only thing left is a pickup truck. You know what I'm
True.
saying? So that type of stuff happens. So when you go straight independent rental car, for one, you know exactly the car that you're gonna get. This is a big point to me, is that you're working with people. You're not working with like a large corporate brand. So you're kind of cutting out that middleman. Most people, I would say, since 2020, they like to go towards the small businesses, even minority businesses, black businesses, brown businesses, that type of deal. So that's a selling point to some people, is that you're working with individuals instead of these large, corporate rental branches. And then third, just the customization. Like, not only can you get the exact car you want, but you can filter it down from delivery capability. You only want a red car, price point. You're not, it's not, you're booking if I'm booking a full size car at so and so, I might want the Altima, but end up with, I don't know, what's a crap? A Fusion. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang. Or if I book a luxury car, let's say a specialty car, premium car, we won't go luxury. But say I wanted the 300C, but I end up with like a Buick. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Or
so
the
it's really the
Chevy, the
customization.
Impala. The Impala is the go-to for premium.
Yeah, it's like, nah, I need to. And Impala to most people, especially old school, that's a full size or
Regular car.
intermediate car. Some old school people, man. So it's like definitely the customization, the filter capability, knowing exactly what car you're gonna get. Those are all super beneficial. Now I'll speak on Accel specifically because we're a unique type of car rental brand. We market for these type of individual rental car hosts. So we get a lot of same day calls where people are like, hey, it might be Friday at 4 o'clock. And they're like, hey, you got cars available? I need a car today. Because of our style of business, because we're private, we're more catered to like, let's say 70% of our cars are catered to like luxury premium. Most of our cars are booked ahead. So when I'm able to have these like candid conversations with, say, friends or family who are not, looking for a car right here this moment, it's like you're really competing with business owners, you're competing with travelers, you're competing with, dads trying to book for their families. Most of our cars are going to be booked ahead just because of the type of customer that we serve. So Excel car rental specifically, same day bookings, it'd be it's tough. You know what I'm saying? We only have a limited supply of cars. But if you book ahead with Excel, you definitely gonna be satisfied. You definitely gonna like the car you got. You're gonna know what car you got before you actually get there. And we ain't gonna bait and switch you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no surprises on the back end.
Right. Talk to them about speaking of the sale, like how you kind of help people out, like as far as people that have cars that are available to rent and what cities you're in too.
Yeah, so right now Chicago is our home base. We are also in Dallas and Texas, and midterm we'll be in all the major vacation type markets. We'll be in Phoenix next. We're targeting Orlando. We've got some relationships out in Vegas. So it's really we're going wherever we're wanted at in a sense, and then we're creating a marketing presence there. we're blowing up digital marketing as far as Google listings and Yelp and all this good stuff, websites. But the strongest part of Accel Car Rental is the community base. Like the marketing and all of that digital stuff that comes along with it. But what we're really doing is giving people a crutch, some confidence within the car rental community. We work with a lot of new hosts and a lot of hosts who, may not be as experienced, or they may just be in like a distressed situation, but we're kind of like the help for independent car rental and give people a peace of mind, confidence, a game plan in order to move forward.
Definitely. And that's coming from somebody that got years of experience, like working with a giant car rental company, like the ins and outs, knowing it, how it's done. Uh, so you're basically saying, like, listen, like, if you come work with us, we can definitely help you out and help you figure some things out and put together some good processes. Is that right?
On the real, and you gonna be on your feet. Like think about the stresses of running a rental branch. You know what I'm saying? You always want cars on the road. If you're not sitting at 90%, it's not a good feeling. So nobody wants a weekend where none of your cars on the road, for example. Our goal for Excel is to have every single car on the road for every single weekend. I see the host within my community. If your car isn't booked every single weekend, not only are you doing something wrong, but we're doing something wrong too. Like our job is to these are car rentals at the end of the day. If they're not booked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got issues. We're not gonna be relying on Monday to Thursday traffic to pay these bills. We need to be on the road every single weekend. So yeah, and I say all that to say like there's just value in having community. So, but nah, what I was getting to, at the end of the day, running a rental car branch is very stressful in itself, right? Imagine running a rental car branch and you holding a debt and you holding a bag and you have no experience in car rental and your cars are already overpriced and you're paying too much for insurance. So it's like people are coming to us with all these layers of problems and we're just able to, I don't say fix them, but we're able to make sense of them. There's ways to save in insurance. There's ways to cut down your note. Are all your cars on your personal credit? There's ways to bring them to the business credit. Things of that nature. And then on top of that, we're doing digital marketing for you, not for free. There's a membership. But on top of getting all the consultation, the coaching, the direction, you're getting a marketing kicker as well, which is going to increase your bookings ultimately anyway. And so yeah, that's the gist. Man. Oh look. Yeah. I get hella questions. I ain't gonna lie. And I've never once encouraged somebody to do Turo per se. It's more so like, why do you want to get in Turo? What leverage points do you already have? There's just so much to it. There's so much involved to it. If there's somebody who has an additional car, additional family car, or they're working from home, they're injured and can't drive, those are the type of people that I will, jump through walls to help. Because it's like you actually have the leverage point. You have an additional vehicle. Let's get you started and get that liability turned into an asset. That's the ultimate goal. But I ain't the one out here encouraging people to like hop into a role, leverage that, do all of this and that. It's just too much risk involved. Most importantly, and especially if you don't have any type of rental car experience, you trying to run a rental branch that you have debt on. Like it's just not a good call for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, definitely. That's all I got though for you. Unless you have anything else.
Uh, Nah, I appreciate that. Damn, we went 18, 19 minutes. I told you, bro, I could talk about this stuff all day, bro. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody. You know what I'm saying? Especially somebody who may have been thinking about getting into Turo, anything like that. Y'all can definitely hit me up. I'm an open book these days. So yeah, definitely hit me up, man. Encourage y'all. Keep building. Keep growing.
What's your website so they can book with you too?
For sure. Little plug. AccelCarRental.com. ACCEL carrental.com. Definitely check us out. like I said, we live in Chicago, plenty of cars in Chicago. We're down in Dallas, Tampa. We'll be expanding from there. But yeah, for sure. AccelCarRental.com. Check us out. Yep, and that wraps up this episode. Vince, you got anything else you wrapped up?
That's all I got. Sounds good, man.
For sure. Yeah, we going and then next week we gonna get back into the insurance talk. And one of our homies that we met down at Family Feud is actually gonna hop on with us soon. So definitely got something in the works for y'all. Keep rocking with us. We look forward to bringing y'all some more information. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a blessed day.